on Smells Like 90's Rock, and I don't give into too many conspiracy theories. Like, I do believe, I think they probably knew something was going to happen. I mean, they did. I think it's even public record that
there were published threats that
threats
day.
right, and maybe someone in the government knew it might happen. But I don't know. I don't know how deep that goes. But I don't believe in the conspiracy theories there. But there are three very good questions from 9/11 that conspiracy theories ask. And
What's that? What
okay.
are those?
All right. So number 3, the plane that hit the Pentagon. We never actually see that.
Right.
We never actually saw it happen. The only thing we have
There's
is
one tape, and it's
security video, but it's one of those like frame by frame.
Yeah.
That doesn't show.
You can't really capture anything on
You
film.
can't, and the only thing it captures is the explosion. But you'd think it would capture some part of that ginormous plane that crashes into the building.
Right.
And I feel like the damage would have been worse at the Pentagon if the plane had hit. Now again, I sound like a conspiracy theorist, but I'm not. I do believe the plane hit, but
there's pieces of the fuselage that they found in the wreckage.
exactly. But that could have been placed there for media purposes.
Yeah, I guess.
Keep in mind, this is a conspiracy theory. So if they, they planned ahead. So no. But no, I agree. I think it was a plane that hit there. But that's one of the theories. And then another theory was the number 2 question is, why did the security guards in the second tower tell everybody to go back to their offices? Because
that is strange.
Yeah, because keep in mind, a lot of people just instinctively, when they saw what happened or heard what happened out in the next building, they wanted to leave. A lot of people weren't afraid. They were like, "Well, that happened there, but I'm here."
Why wouldn't you want to leave?
But most people instinctively left. But then the security guard said, "No, we're getting word. Everybody needs to go back to their offices." They said the employers are saying go back to your offices or whatever. I don't think the security guards knew. This is the conspiracy. They didn't know what they were doing because they thought they were doing the right thing, telling them to go back. But
I guess the idea is to sort of limit any kind of potential confusion or mayhem that might be caused.
Right.
So they think if we just tell them to go about business as usual, there will be less hysteria.
Right. And that's what I believed. I think they were dumb for doing that. And in my opinion, because I believe again in the real 9/11. And I believe it was a stupid move to tell everybody to go back to their offices because the whole thing was going on in the next building. That was dumb. You should let people leave. And I think people got to leave. If they really wanted to leave, they were allowed to leave. I think in the second building at that time. So that's why I don't believe in that conspiracy theory either. But here's the top one, and this is interesting. How come? Because remember, we see Bush. He's in that classroom with the kids.
Yeah.
And I've watched the whole video, of course, the part where
why is there like a 9-minute delay between when he hears the news and when he decides to actually take action?
That's interesting. But no, what I was saying was that you see the visual. Okay, so after the first plane hits, Secret Service a guy walks up to him and tells him it happens. He looks concerned, but nobody's really concerned about terrorism. They think maybe it was an accident.
Right.
The second plane hits, and you see that look on his face when he's getting the message that it's hit. He looks like he's about to explode. It looks frightening. But here's the question: why are we seeing all that? How come he wasn't immediately whisked away and taken into safety?
What, after the first plane or the second plane?
After the second plane hits.
Wouldn't you? That is.
If the president, if the country is under attack and you don't know what's about to happen next,
I would immediately get out of the elementary school that I was in, evacuate the school.
Right, maybe evacuate the school, send everybody home, and the Secret Service should have been like, okay, thanks, that's it, the president has to go now. But no, he stayed there, and he even did a speech at that school.
For the little kids?
No, to the nation. He addressed the nation from there first.
Yeah, I would have gotten out of the school because if there's an orchestrated attack against the country, the idea is that the president himself might be a target. I would get away from the elementary school that I was visiting that day.
But that's like the top 3 conspiracy theory questions. Like why, why didn't he get whisked away and taken into hiding right then? Instead, he hung around for a while, and then he left, and then it was big media coverage. Oh, he's in Louisiana now, and now he's back in Washington, because when he was getting ready to leave, that's when the Pentagon got hit, and so they had to divert him to Louisiana, because obviously don't come here. But yeah, those are just like the questions, and I have to admit the Bush one does make me curious, but
the last one,
right? Yeah. But I believe, like everybody else, he didn't want to. Nobody on his team
want to alarm
because they're in a room full of kids. Yeah, they didn't want to raise hysteria. They didn't want to They wanted to ease into this slowly, and address the nation accordingly. And so I do believe that. But that's where the conspiracy. And those are interesting questions. I won't lie.
You couldn't hide that though.
No,
I mean, we knew about it. I mean, I knew about it in the home ec class. Immediately.
Yeah, I mean, I get mad at conspiracy because how can you deny those planes? Those planes clearly went through.
Yeah.
I mean, you can see that. I mean, you can do your digital, like, look how this plane comes in. It does. The wing doesn't automatic.
I think one of the.
Because I should have mentioned I'm kind of like a big 9/11. I mean, I'm a history buff, so I like learning about going back. So recently, I've been going back and watch a lot of the like the news, like as it was happening, 9/11, and it's really interesting to watch. And then I'll go and watch the conspiracy theory videos of the guy like digitally showing how the wing doesn't completely go through a certain way. I was like, hey, you're full of it. You're doing that yourself.
Or I think a big question they raise is that how could they actually demolish the towers themselves?
Oh yeah, how they melt the structural support and the thing. And I'm like,
isn't there like conspiracy theory that there were bombs?
There were bombs, and the way that they came down, it looked like it was a controlled demolition. Is what they were calling it. But I mean, you weren't in there. You don't know if the planes hit a certain way, and if they did in fact melt those particular, structures. What's the word? I just said the word, the thing that was holding them up, the structural supports.
Yeah.
If those supports started melting and they faltered, obviously the top's going to fall, and then it's just going to cave down and destroy the rest of it. It made sense to me.
Yeah, it made perfect sense. Really.
Right, and then the biggest conspiracy theory is World Trade 7, which was the little building that fell later. Why did it fall? Everybody says. I'm like, well, 2 giant buildings just fell on top of it a few minutes ago. It probably just
I'm sure it caved in under the pressure.
It caved in under the pressure. It caved in because of fires. There was fires in that building. So I mean, I don't give in to the conspiracy theories, but they do have some good questions. Just like the Kennedy says, there's some good questions that comes out of that. But I don't believe in the thing. I don't believe in them.
Let's see. Have you ever? There's actually there's footage of people who went into the towers like after they were being evacuated. Like, it's like ground level footage.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of eerie.
Oh
too.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
I watched a documentary of the chaplain of one of the fire department. I think of FDNY.
Yeah.
And it was on September 10th, and he was like holding a service because there was like a big celebration for the FDNY that night, and he was giving these blessings and prayers and talking about things, and then he gets killed.
He got killed on 9/11?
He was standing in the lobby of Tower 1 when Tower 2 came down and debris came in and a rock hit him in the head and killed him.
Oh wow!
And there's a picture of him getting carted out of the building by firefighters. It's a really sad picture, and it's a really sad thing. But you talk about eerie. That's eerie when you think about when you go back and watch him speaking and then him dead the next day. It's crazy. It's crazy. Welcome to our comedy show.